you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. MyPillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature-regulating thread. MyPillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of MyPillow.
The best sleep just got even better. Whether you have a MyPillow or not, you need
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice Dish Network, Channel 219, Pluto TV, Channel 240, Samsung 1175, Roku TV as well, the Roku channel, Apple TV, as well as Amazon Fire and Select TV, Channel 106. Oh my goodness, we're growing in leaps and bounds. Also, remember to like and share the show on all the socials, including Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Kick, Getter, Instagram at LFS6B Show. Yes, Kick.
There's new stuff I don't even know about. The only social media I ever got good at was Getter, and Getter, it's like no one's there anymore.
There's a lot of people still
there. Is there?
They're there.
Sure. All right.
I know I got to get getting back into the social media thing, Paul.
I did quit social media for quite a while. It was so good for me.
I do say you didn't miss it.
I found God. I found my family. It's been incredible. But now I'm back to social media. It's still great because the memes have never been better.
Yes, the memes are off the charts these days. It's a Tuesday night. It is what time is it? 8:01. Is it 8:01? 8:01 p.m. on a Tuesday night, February the 4th. I gotta make sure. See, we're doing live TV, so I want to make sure February the 4th. It's at 8:01 when I announce this. Paul Nolan, of course, sitting in tonight. He was lucky enough to be able to come back tonight. Vin is out sick. Damon is out doing a family thing, so you're stuck with me, Paul, and of course,
the moon
Slick
landing.
Rick doing sports.
Yes,
Slick, how are you?
Doing good tonight, gentlemen. How you doing?
Good.
Two nights in a row, Paul Nolan. Wow.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, I'm
like the old days.
I'm bucking for a promotion. I'm going to try to get back to 3 days a week. I'm going to beg Damon.
Paul, how are you tonight?
I'm great, man. I'm glad I got to come in. Thanks for calling me. This was not easy, though. Like, I had a crazy day today, and I'm flying out of town tomorrow. I got to be at the airport at 7 for an 8:30 flight, and going to LaGuardia is never a joy in the morning.
No, never fun.
But plus, my son is home. He moved upstate New York. He's home till... So I came in because I love the audience. Big D has always been there for me. Slick Rick would give me his kidney if I need it. I don't have anything good to say about Delgado.
I'll heat your socks up for you.
Right, he'll heat my socks up.
Right, exactly.
And I figure let's get in here. Let's talk about the deep state.
Yes.
And no Damon to govern us.
No Damon to govern us.
Ooh.
And the Trump train is steaming down the tracks as we speak. It's amazing all the stuff that is we were talking about this last night. Like, over the weekend, it was nonstop stuff happening. You would think the weekend, it's going to be a little lighter. No. Nonstop stuff. Yesterday, nonstop stuff. Today, nonstop stuff to the point where, as Paul walks in, he's like, "What's new?" I said, "We might be owning Gaza soon." He's like, "What?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Gaza Strip. Wait, what?
Heading to the strip.
Trump just put up 3 hotels and a casino. That waterfront property is the best property.
Here today, Gaza tomorrow.
So we'll dive into that in just a little bit. But this one is especially for Paul, because Paul, since he's come back, he's let us know that there is one administration official he would love to see confirmed. Now he can go out and get the poster. He can put it up in his office. He can worship it every single day while she is the new Attorney General of the United States. We're talking about the Senate confirming this evening by a score of 54-46, Paul, the one, the only Pam Bondi is your next Attorney General of the United States. How do you feel?
I couldn't be happier, and I'll tell you why. It has nothing to do with her being easy on the eyes, which I openly admit that she is. She's a lovely woman, but she's strong, she's powerful, she's so clear in her thinking, and she takes no guff. And with her ability to come back at you when you're gaslighting her is as good as anybody in politics. And I've always felt like there's always been a place for strong women in American politics.
Right.
Women let's be honest. I mean, women are way better than men because they're way more rational. They care more about human beings. They care more about people. Men like things. Women like humans. They're good, better people. They're just better people unless they're named Hillary Clinton or Nancy Pelosi.
or Elizabeth Warren.
There are exceptions,
Yeah, the Karen
not
Club.
many.
Right, exactly.
I
So
agree.
congratulations, Paul. You got your wish. What will you be doing now to celebrate as much?
I'm going to write her a letter every day like Andy Dufresne from Shawshank. Would you please spend a weekend with me at the Cape?
And we can read
That's
law
not
books
true.
together.
Hun, my wife is watching the show. It's a joke.
It's a joke, honey.
Kidding. I love you, baby.
It's a little
that's
joke. So the big news, it literally just happened. Fran had it on in the other room. He's like, it's 36-36. I'm like, all right, well, let me know when it confirms. Well, the Senate has confirmed by a vote of 54 to 46. 54, you say, but I thought we only had a 53. Yes, you're right. We only do have 53 Republicans. That means somebody defected
Who was
from the Democrats, the one and only John Fetterman.
I knew it was going to be Fetterman.
He was the lone Democrat to vote in her favor. The former two-time Attorney General from Florida. She is now going to lead the Department of Justice, which oversees a whopping 115,000 employees, some of which will be getting a pink slip soon, from what I understand. The DOJ is also in charge of critical departments like the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and Explosives, and the DEA as well. She'll be stepping into the role at a tumultuous time, it says here, according to the Daily Mail, after 5,000 employees who worked on, well, these are the ones that got fired, worked on January 6 cases, could be fired almost immediately.
How many FBI agents?
5,000 for
That's right.
now.
You know how many there are? 13,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
More than a third of the FBI has been
Prosecutors,
involved.
We're
It's
involved in
absolute-
prosecuting one case.
Is that not an absolute bombardment of weaponization?
Yeah.
That is just all you need to know about this thing.
Yeah, and also a misallocation of resources. Because while they're doing that, they're not going after the real criminals, the real terrorists, the real ones that have snuck into the country, the real ones that are running around, causing problems around this country in the big cities. Because guess what? They weren't hired for that. They were hired specifically to go after political opponents.
Crazy. And now, from an anecdotal standpoint, my sister-in-law, speaking of bad, can you say ASS, badass women?
Yeah.
She is a butt kicker to the umpteenth degree. Mary Pat, I love you if you're out there. My sister-in-law is completely awesome. She ran bus trips for the people from Maryland, for people who wanted to go to the Capitol that day. The FBI had come to her house on more than one occasion.
Really?
And the truth of the matter was, these agents on the ground, these real warriors on the ground, were so embarrassed by the line of questioning they had to pursue. To me, these people want to do the right thing for the most part. It's the upper echelon who have their hands in the cookie jar, so to speak, who are corrupted, who send out these horrifying orders to really the bravest, most loyal sons and daughters of this nation, who have so much loyalty and bravery, and it's a shame that they get completely hung out to dry by really bad bureaucrats.
Right. Yeah. Well, hopefully the bureaucrats are going to start seeing their days numbered, and those, as Kash Patel calls them, they're cops. Let them go be cops.
Yeah.
The ones that were sent around, like you said, that visited your sister, among other people. Hopefully they're the ones that get the kick up the stairs and get a hold of this agency and say, no, that's not the way this is supposed to run. This is why we signed up.
Yeah.
Because that's, when you hear about, and Bongino's talked a lot about this, the guys on the street, the guys, doing the actual police work, they don't sign on for this.
No, they
and they're
do not.
embarrassed by it, like you said.
Bongino has touched on that?
He's touched on it a lot.
That's great.
Yeah.
He's a beast, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's another guy who's dedicated his life to liberty and freedom and truth. And, when you get it from him, it's really validating. I really hope this is the end of this deep state. I really hope that Trump can battle his way through this muck, because there's going to be so much pushback coming from.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be people who are compromised along the way who will stop at nothing to stop it. The uncovering of all of the scams and crimes that USAID has performed, which has been really the new piggy bank / clandestine twin cousin of the CIA.
Well, it's not even the twin cousin. It's a front for the CIA. The CIA runs for all intents and purposes, and this comes from Mike Benz. I've been watching a lot of his stuff.
Me too.
And he's dumbfounded by what they're uncovering.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why they're freaking out so much about USAID and the fact that, Doge and Elon went in there and they locked down everything. And it's funny because I was just watching a video just before we came on the air that I didn't send in about one of the workers at USAID who was like, well, I took down all my pride flags and I hid books and I did this and I did that. And then I found things were starting to get weird. And all of a sudden I got locked out of everything. Exactly. They had to basically hermetically seal everything off from the criminals who were in there who could possibly start to hide stuff or destroy evidence, just so they can get a look at what the hell they've been up to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. When someone like AOC or Schumer and other people in the Democratic Party say things along the lines of, if Elon opens up the books at USAID, it'll be a national security threat. Why would there be such a trove of incredible high-end secrets at supposedly this charity arm of the government, which, by the way, unto me, like, it's absolutely crazy to me that they have the audacity to say, hey, Trump, president, you have no right to be in our house. We're our own independent monstrosity, and you have no say over us. The audacity of these gangsters is just, it's reprehensible to me. So this is exciting stuff. Yeah. And I think this could be the beginning of America being where it should be and what it should be.
Yeah, and especially because they try. And again, if you listen to the Democrats, we got a lot of clips on USAID and the Democrats. I mean, the only one missing who didn't show up for this rally that they had, this protest, you had the usual scumbags show up. The only one I didn't notice was Mitch McConnell wasn't there.
Oh, boy.
But, he probably wanted to be.
Yeah. They're probably changing his diaper and his,
Right. The frozen turtle couldn't handle being out in public. But just keep in mind, you anytime you hear any of your friends or your liberal family members say, well, it's USAID, it's not USAID. United States Agency. That's what the A stands for, not for aid. Yep. Agency for International Development. And no, there's nothing in the title that actually means aid.
Without a doubt. What it really means is clandestine operations to say, oh, we're only here to irrigate your poppy field so we could take complete control of all the poppy so we could make a gazillion tons of heroin and opioids so we can pump it back into our farmers so we could buy weapons and blow them up and then leave them for ISIS so they can kill people and then we could buy more weapons and blow them up again. It's all one big front after another from at every level. Everything they've done since, I would say, by the way, we have only a minute left, so Biden made this part of the State Department 3 years ago. This was never part of the State Department, which is one of the things that tells you how criminal Biden really was. So,
well, considering it's got 10,200 employees, I'd say most of them are probably crapping their pants right around now. And from what I understand, Marco Rubio, the new Secretary of State, has recalled all of the foreign employees of USAID. So they're shutting things down.
Thank God.
Which is a great start, a great sign. And just getting started here on a Tuesday night. Slick Rick has got sports. We'll do some sports coming up after this. We'll dive more into this breaking news. Also, RFK heading to a floor vote.
Guys, come on now.
Also,
come on now.
Tulsi Gabbard heading for a floor vote.
Come on.
The winning keeps on coming.
Let's get it on. That was good. Did you enjoy that?
Absolutely.
All right, good.
As he's prepping. All right, we are live in the chats. Huh?
I'm all loaded. What's coming up in sports? I'm all ready to go.
You ready to rock?
Yeah, well.
I'm going to tell you, I'm so glad I got to make it because there is so much cool news, but I won't lie that when my son's home, I don't get to hang with him much. I did want to have dinner with him tonight. My daughter, my other one is upstate too, but This is too exciting. This is too good a time in American history to not be.
We're watching history.
We are absolutely watching history unfold.
Right?
The world is changing, and
Yeah.
I just hope Trump stays safe through all of it.
Well, I got a clip on that, too.
Well, I would
See what
love
he said
do
about
you have a
Iran?
lot of clips. I
Holy
love
moly.
reacting to the clips. I love,
Yeah.
and the audience is so much fun. We get like the greatest material from the audience.
Oh,
In fact,
yeah.
I got to climb onto.
Howdy to the YouTubers.
Howdy.
How do I get to the YouTube? Come on now.
You go to the YouTubes.
Come on now. Come on. My phone, my pad is frozen. Man, what a hectic day I had. I got to the office at at the office. I got to the
36,
house
right?
at 7 a.m. this morning for the floor guys to be prepped, all the stuff done, and they didn't show up till 10:30 anyhow.
Oh, man.
That's like the cable guy.
Oh yeah.
And you were
But it actually
probably
did me a
you were
favor.
probably ready to floor them when they walked in. Yeah. It's annoying.
Howdy, Twixers, and now to the Rumble chat. Let's see what's happening over on Rumble. Rumble was huge for us last night. They were awesome.
Super chat, Les Durham in the YouTube. $10 from
In the
Les Durham.
YouTubes.
No.
Super chat?
Yep. Didn't say anything. Just thank you, Les. Appreciate you, pal.
Ratchet in the Rumble chat saying, hey. Hassan Pfeffer says, clip us, Delgado. I'll clip you. I'll clip you. You stuttering, muttering pricks.
I'm making so.
Mingy,
I'm
what are
making
you
so
doing here? I thought I told you to go off your mother. I just wish I was
My
big
mother's
just
making
once.
sausage and peppers.
I wish I was big just once. You believe this guy? He asked me to christen his kid.
Too funny. All right, Rumblers, we're off and running. 23 seconds, we'll be back on the air. Here we go. Rumble's already 1,200 people in Rumble. Holy Mac Diddle.
That tells you what's going on. People are sick of Google and
Yeah.
YouTube. Do we have a super chat already? Les Durham.
YouTube, we got 906. Come on.
Hi, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. If you missed it, top of the hour, Pam Bondi is your new United States. What the heck is she again? Attorney General.
Oh, my God.
I almost said Secretary General.
No. Attorney.
She's the Attorney General. She'll be looking into all the things that we hope that she gets the chance to look into. So good luck to her. Congratulations from us to you, Miss Bondi, and especially from Paul. We'll have more with Paul in just a bit. What? Just say it.
It's fine. I've earned that. I made a mistake that night. I was really embarrassed. Yeah, I was gushing. It was terrible. It was pathetic. Sorry.
You're like a teenage boy
Well,
looking up to the
yeah.
to the cute teacher.
with great chest pubes.
Right. All right. Let's do some sports with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com and save a ton of money on all his great stuff there. I especially love the huge towels. The big towels, the huge
yeah.
towels. You know, because you can do the Trump dance with them when you get out of the bath.
That's it. The shammy shake.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code at checkout, LFS6B. Slick, what do you got, my friend?
Well, some sad news in the sports world earlier today. Tiger Woods' mother, Clotilda, force of nature, dies at 80 years old. Mark Schleback of ESPN
Oh, yeah, I
reporting.
saw that.
Yeah, Tiger Woods' mother, Clotilda, whom the 15-time major champion has described as his biggest fan, which I would imagine, right? Your mom is.
Yeah.
Died Tuesday. The golfer announced in a statement on social media she was 80. Woods' mother had attended his TGL match in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida last week, so she was up and around just last week. My mom was a force of nature, all her own. Her spirit was simply undeniable, Woods said in his statement on X. She was quick with the needle and a laugh. She was my biggest fan, greatest supporter. Without her, none of my personal achievements would have been possible. She was loved by so many, but especially by our two grandchildren, Sam and Charlie. Thank you all for your support, prayers, and privacy at this difficult time for me and my family. Love you, Mom. While Woods' late father, Earl, was often credited with helping his son develop develop his game and creating a competitive fire that would make him one of the greatest golfers in history. Tiger described his mother as the enforcer throughout his career. Tiger said in the past that his mother influenced his tradition of wearing red on Sunday because she believed it was his power color. In her native Thailand, people chose colors to wear on days of the week, and Sunday's color is red. It started with Mom, Woods said during a launch event for his Sunday Red clothing line in L.A. in February of 2024. Mom thought, being a Capricorn, that my power color was red, so I wore red as a junior golfer, and I won some tournaments. Obviously, he won a lot of tournaments. So he goes on to express how upset he was, and of course, my mom doesn't get enough credit, Woods said last year. Everyone thought it was my dad when I went on the road, which it was, but Mom was at home. If you don't know, Mom has been there my entire life. She's always been there through thick and thin, and he had some rough times. Obviously, the stories are, well published, and what had happened with him and his life and his marriage. One thing, his mother was always by his side, as most moms would be.
Yep.
And ironically, when I saw this, I had just hung up talking to my mother, checking in. So it really kind of hit home with me how important it is to love and thank our mothers every chance we get, every corner. I know all of our moms are still here, and I'm very grateful for that. So.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Tiger Woods'
good.
mom.
That's a good tribute.
Yeah, and President Trump posted this on Truth Social when he found out. He said, I was just informed that Tiger Woods' wonderful mother, Catilda, passed away. She has gone on to greener fairways. Catilda Woods was an amazing influence on Tiger and gave him much of his strength and brilliance. Melania and I send our love and prayers to Tiger and his incredible family.
That's beautiful.
And along with that, he posted a really nice picture of the three of them. So
absolutely. And of course, the president continues to be in the world of sports as well. Donald Trump to attend Super Bowl 59 between Chiefs and Eagles. This is Nick Gilbertson of Breitbart. Breitbart News has verified that President Donald Trump is set to attend Super Bowl 59 between the Chiefs and Eagles in New Orleans, Louisiana. A White House source confirmed Punchbowl News founder Jake Sherman's report that Trump would be at the big game. A pre-taped interview between Trump and Fox News host Bret Baier is also set to air during the pregame show on Fox, which is broadcasting the Super Bowl. The president's affinity for sports is well documented. That's why I have a job. And this will mark at least the second major sporting event he has attended since his landslide election on November 5th. On November 16th, days removed from the election, Trump attended UFC 309 at MAGA Square Garden and received a hero's welcome. Of course, I threw that in. It's always loud when he comes in, but now that he's won, now that he's the president again, oh my God, said UFC commentator and producer Joe Rogan. The president and the First Lady Melania Trump notably attended the 2020 NCAA College Football National Championship game between the LSU Tigers and the Clemson Tigers at the Superdome, where Sunday's game will happen. The Eagles entered the Super Bowl after steamrolling the Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship game in a 55-23 rout, thanks to 6 combined rushing TDs. They're getting into all the statistics, which I don't need to do. But Super Bowl 59 comes just 1 month after the New Year's morning terrorist attack in New Orleans, when the terrorist suspect identified as Shamsuddin Jabbar rammed his pickup truck through a crowd, killing 14 and injuring 35. However, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is set to lend heavy federal security assistance for the Super Bowl, as Breitbart News has noted. I'll run that article a little bit later. But yeah, Kristi Noem says it's going to be very safe there at the Super Bowl. And I do believe that will be one of the safest places on the planet. And I'm glad to hear that, because it's the biggest sporting event, well, in the world, essentially. Maybe the World Cup gives it a run for its money.
I think the World Cup kicks its butt.
Gives it a month. But that's only every 4 years. That's only every 4 years. This is every year. So
I'm with you.
That's it. That's a wrap in sports, Rick. I'll have more for you a little bit later. Back to you.
All right, very good. Slick Rick Sports, again, brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. As we mentioned, top of the show, Pam Bondi's your new Attorney General. RFK Jr. also got some great news. RFK Jr. successfully made it out of the Senate Finance Committee this morning. Now it was on a party line vote, of course. So he just took another step towards getting confirmed, and looks like he could be on a path to doing just that. Here's cut number 1 as they announce RFK getting voted out of committee for the Secretary of HHS. Cut 1.
We have been watching the Senate Finance Committee vote on Robert F. Kennedy's nomination to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services. It is very rare these days on Capitol Hill that you go in to a hearing or a business meeting like this and don't really have an idea how it's actually going to land. All eyes were on one senator, Senator Bill Cassidy, a Republican of Louisiana, and just 2 minutes before the committee started its vote, Cassidy posted on X, I've had very intense conversations with Bobby and the White House over the weekend and even this morning. I want to thank Vice President J.D. Vance specifically for his honest counsel. With the serious commitments I've received from the administration and the opportunity to make progress on the issues we agree on, like healthy foods and a pro-American agenda, I will vote yes. You see Cassidy walking out of the hearing room now. The vote was 14-13. This is a major step forward for Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s nomination to lead the Department of Health and Human Services, a major victory for the Trump White House and for President Trump himself.
Yeah, big victory. Another big victory.
Amazing.
And the hits just keep on coming. So RFK is on his way and starting to look good in terms of getting the support he needs. So that's noteworthy. Just one, like he was saying, they were hoping for that one, Bill Cassidy vote, but he had intense discussions, and from a few people.
Yeah, it sounds like a full Nelson.
Yeah, full Nelson, and maybe
and a noogie,
and maybe a bunch of emails, texts, and phone calls to his office saying, "Hey, buddy, get in line. We want this guy approved." Because that's what it's taking these days.
Yeah,
right?
Without a doubt.
Yeah,
it's taking the American people to say, you know what, get in line.
let's go.
Yeah, you're not here to vote your conscience. You're here to vote our conscience.
Right.
Yeah.
We the people.
Right.
Yeah, we are completely sick and tired of you gaslighting us and telling us that everything's okay, when all it is you guys you come in making $160,000 a year and you leave worth $30 million. We're tired of it.
Right.
We know you're a scam. We're tired of it.
Yeah.
American public has seen more action in the last 2 weeks than they've seen in 12 years. That's something else, too.
Yeah,
true story.
Another piece of good news, Tulsi Gabbard just got the important yes vote in her column. Republican Senator Todd Young, former Marine, has been on the fence, but he just announced today that, while she wouldn't label Edward Snowden a traitor, he supports her, and he's going to give her his vote, as well as Susan Collins, which is totally unexpected when you get right down to it. So things are looking good. More good news always is appreciated, but the Trump train, like I said, it's firing and steaming.
Oh, yeah.
It's like get on board or get out of the way or get run over.
Run over,
Yeah.
baby. Yeah.
And you know what? I think that's part of what we're going to talk about next, because that's exactly what the Trump administration is doing right now. They are running over the Democrats, and we'll dive into that. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there.
I don't know.
I guess it make people members.
All I know is she's incredible and generous.
Yes,
and
incredible indeed. Yep, Child of the King in the YouTube chat gifted 20 live from Studio 6B memberships.
that's why all that gorgeous green is flowing through here. It looks so cool. Thank you, Child of the King.
Yeah,
God
thank
bless
you.
you.
I don't know exactly how that works on
wait,
YouTube.
what's
I'm
this
not
now?
familiar with it.
G-Dog is,
But I
what
guess
is
it's
this?
great.
Well,
Look
they're
at that.
members now. They get a little star next to their name.
Yep.
G-Dog just did a super chat for $19.99. Is that a Prince reference for you, Slick Rick?
What is that? Who? G-Dog?
G-Dog.
No, G-Dog is not a Prince.
No, $19.99.
No, I don't think so.
COTK is our
Could be,
Statue
but no.
of Liberty. G-Dog writes.
Could be 1999. Could be, maybe.
Drag
Thank
Blacker,
you.
Mama Nolan.
Thank you much for the
is,
$19.99.
Drag Blacker, are you a Long Islander? I want to see that in the thing. Yeah, Mom's down in Amityville, and she had a stroke in September. Then she had another one in October. We were real worried about her, and then she was okay and stable for a little while. And then 2 weeks ago, she had 2 strokes, severe ones, but they were in points of her brain that didn't really affect her too badly. And the incredible people at St. Francis, by the way, as good a hospital as anywhere in the world, found where there was a hole in her heart since she's a child, and plaque is getting out, and it's releasing into her. But they seem to have her stable, and
Wow.
she's my adorable, cute little Italian mama, and I love her little face, and she's so grateful for any time anybody visits with her. So she's definitely bored, but she's got a good relationship with God and Jesus, and she knows that she's going to see her sister, and she's just in a good place. So, just 87 years old.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah. My uncle works
wish
at
her
St.
all the
Francis.
best for it.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
He works at the hospital
At St. Francis?
for like 30 years, or maybe longer. Yeah,
Really?
my uncle, yep.
Well, they're incredible over there.
Yeah, it's a good hospital.
Oh, my
One of the
goodness.
best heart hospitals in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like world renowned.
No question. Good spot.
So who can hear us right now?
Everybody in the
chats.
Chats.
Well, except for the
Facebook.
Getter chat, they can't hear you, I don't think.
Right, Getter
Our
chat
Getter
is the only
chat.
one.
Separate Getter stream.
Are we?
Yeah, there's a 6B
So they
getter
can
going.
hear us?
So
Yeah,
those
it was-
people can hear us, yes.
40 people in it.
Oh, the 6B getter they can. Nice.
Rav Getter's the largest.
Hey there, 6B getter.
Heck.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Tuesday night, I said it again, February the 4th.
Yeah.
No, I was thrown off because things are falling apart in the studios.
Someone must have stepped on this because look, it's
Oh,
cracked.
it's broken.
Yeah, someone must have accidentally hit it, and that's why it was.
It fell off your face.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Well,
Well,
that's what I
Paul's gonna
get for
be
buying
half blind.
$2 glasses.
Half blind for the rest of the show. We'll be fine. So going into the break, we're kind of excited, and I think everybody out there watching the show and watching it on replay, what have you, would be excited too, because this is, when we talked about, and we've talked about it, the last 4 years of what we want to see from the Trump administration when he comes back in, because of the things that we were, told, and things that we'd seen, and things that they tried to do but were stopped and stymied along the way. All the crap that the Democrats would do to kind of gum up the works, so to speak.
Yep.
Now it's 2.0, and 2.0 is so far awesome.
Awesome. It's amazing how armed the deep state was going into Trump's first win. In my humble opinion, in my opinion, I really believe that the 5 major swing state cities like Wisconsin and Philadelphia, I believe that they pumped up a ton of illegal and fake votes in 2016 for Hillary, and that's why she hung her hat on the popular vote and the Electoral College is a scam. They were working on their scam. They were perfecting their scam when Trump got in. It killed what was supposed to be called Agenda 21, and which now became Agenda 2030, which is where the World Economic Forum will try to implement its global control and all that stuff. And it's been well documented for a very, very, very long time.
Right.
I believe that they were rigging the job then, and they've been rigging it back to the Bush family, and I think that there's been a lot of corruption across the board. As far as this time around, it's too late.
Yeah.
Everything, he knows exactly where the dead bodies are. People like Tulsi know where the dead bodies are. People like RFK know, these people that he has in there now are going to unravel this entire disaster of a corrupt government system that has just gone so foul. So,
right. And I think there's another person, I think, there's probably several people in the background that we don't talk about, that we don't, maybe we don't know their names, that know a lot. Are supplying them with information on where to look, who to look at, how you can find it, what it's called. Because again, they hide things under certain names and certain titles where you think, oh, well, that's a good policy or that's a good thing, and it turns out it's the exact opposite
every time
of what it is. Right.
Every single time.
Yeah, we see it with legislation that they try to pass. Oh, the Everybody's Awesome Act, where everybody gets taxed an awesome amount more.
Yeah,
that's basically what they do. But I think what's really telling about this time is that, and like you said, you pointed out to the corruption, is that he didn't wait to get to the corruption. He didn't wait to get settled in.
Nope.
He didn't wait to be like, all right, you get in. Once you get confirmed, he just started.
It's like he was making a list from 4 years ago.
Right.
Like he had his plan well organized before he won his election, and now he is just guns a-blazing like Rambo.
And it's almost like, because up until recently, I'd never really heard of the USAID. I really just,
they funded Wuhan.
Right. But it was always, we were always looking at the money that the Congress has appropriated another $10 billion to Ukraine. So you figured that's where the money's going, but you don't understand that it's an agency like this, USAID, which is actually the one that's pulling all the strings for all this, to make all of this stuff happen. And, when you got people like, and I said I said this before, just a few moments ago. People that we're not thinking about, people that you kind of forget about or we don't know their names. Remember the name Mike Flynn?
Of course.
How much does he still know about everything that's gone on?
Talk about a guy who knows where the dead bodies are.
Exactly.
I mean, and he was labeled by every single person conspiracy theorist.
Right.
So the cloak of conspiracy theory or racist or whatever they want to hammer at you to cover is their way of stopping you and shutting you up for exposing anything that they do. And they say it on Congress all the time. A conspiracy theorist like so-and-so. It's just their way of saying anybody who believes this is stupid, and if you believe it, you're stupid, and you don't even look about this stuff, and it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
It's totally
People don't buy it anymore.
And again, going back to the Steve Bannon moniker of flooding the zone, which is what they've done even before he took the oath of office. They were getting ready to flood that zone.
Exactly.
So day one. Minute one, once he was confirmed, once he was inaugurated, boom, they started doing things. And the left has been, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the scene out of, what do you call it? Devil's Advocate. Devil's Advocate, Al Pacino, Keanu Reeves.
Louis Cypher, was that? Oh, no, I'm thinking of a different one.
Keanu Reeves goes to the big city to be a lawyer for Al Pacino, right? And Al Pacino turns out to be the devil.
Yep. Yeah, right.
And he gives him that big speech at the end. He goes, God tells you, look, but don't touch. Touch but don't taste, taste but don't swallow. And while you're jumping from hoop to hoop, they're nailing you. This is exactly what the Democrats are feeling right now. They are jumping from hoop to hoop, and he's like whack-a-mole, just pounding them on the head. Every time they try to get mad about one thing, he fires people. Every time they get mad about another thing, oh, by the way, I want you to close the Department of Education. Oh, they freak out about that. We're moving into Gaza.
Someone in the chat called it the Gaza Riviera.
Yeah, he is annihilating the left to the point where they don't know where they are. You watch the media, they're freaking out. You watch all the talking heads, they don't even know where to go anymore.
No.
And then Paul mentions the USAID, and knowing he knows far more about what they do than I do, but Trump seems to know that it's a money thing. Here's cut number 10, and you can hear him say it for himself as he talks about the money and, the kickbacks. Cut 10. Check this out, Paul.
Look at all the fraud that he's found in this USAID. It's a disaster what the people, radical left lunatics, they have things that nobody would have even believed. The whole thing with $100 million spent on you-know-what, with money going to all sorts of groups that shouldn't deserve to get any money. With the money, I'd like to see what the kickbacks are. How much money has been kicked back? Who would spend that kind of money to some of the things that you read about and I read about and I see every night on the news and every morning when I read the papers? Who would spend money for that? I would say this, the people that got all that money, are they kicking it back to the people that gave it from government? No, that's, to me, very, very corrupt. The real question is how much of a kickback.
That's how the DNC funds so much of their BS.
Yeah.
So much of their incredible amount of money comes through these NGOs like this criminal organization. That's how they stayed in power for so long. I mean, I've talked about it a million times. The neocons just passed the baton to the Clintons. The Clinton passed it back to Bush. Bush passed it back to Obama. And then Obama basically was the point man for the puppet in chief, Biden, and his criminal activity. In fact, there's a lot of documented cases and evidence that say that Obama was disgusted with Biden's endless scams, saying, "Hey, dude, tone it down. You got to get us all caught like a mobster." Right. So, I mean, it's time for this nonsense to end, and it feels like it's here.
Yeah, and it's. We also talked about this. It almost feels like we're, and I guess we are, but I never really thought about it like this until recently. Like, we're watching history. We're going to be, we might be long gone, but our grandkids are going to be looking at this stuff in textbooks and reading about what happened. And we just hope that,
I just pray to God every day, and I hope the audience is praying with me, man, that Trump is protected through this. And, I just pray that, there's a lot of powerful people with endless amounts of money He's upsetting an international global apple cart of endless amounts of money through the central banking, through the war machine, through the pharmaceuticals, even energy, which obviously Drill Baby, obviously he's not going to draw the ire of them, but let's be honest. I mean, Exxon and Chevron and all these energy companies have invested $1 bazillion into green energy, which doesn't work, as we know.
No.
So,
yeah. And if you want to hear, here's what he has to say. You talk about him being safe. Here he is talking about one of our enemies. If they try anything, cut number 2, he's already put it in an executive order in case something happens. Check it out for yourself. Cut number 2.
And why say that you're unhappy to sign it if it's Iran and their proxies who have threatened to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani?
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do. Not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why, lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it. If that happens to a leader, or close to a leader, frankly, if you had other people involved also, you would call for total obliteration of a state that did it. That would include Iran. So I'm signing this, and it's a very powerful document, but hopefully we're not going to have to use it.
Yeah. So there it is. He's laying it out for them to know he's already put the plan in place.
Left instructions.
I mean, it's great.
Probably left it with JD.
It's just great. I mean, he knows. I mean, he knows that he's got a target on his back. He knows his upper echelon has a target on his back, and all these goofballs in the mainstream media complex prostitutes are all running the same narrative. Oh, that Elon Musk was not a god. He doesn't deserve all this power. And it's all they're clinging to. They're clinging to the ad hominem attacks, and they know that they have nothing other than to wait for the day that they're exposed. So this is it's just a good time to be. It's a good time to be a real awake person who's been watching the corruption at the most horrifying level, really, for as long as I can remember, especially since 9/11 on.
Right.
It's a disaster.
Yeah, it you mentioned 9/11. It's amazing it's that long ago, but it still feels kind of recent.
Yeah, of course, because it's all been one endless continuation of this global domination, this draconian, totalitarian, deep state, entity that's this global corporate takeover of America, and it just kept on growing. It was like the blob.
Yeah, exactly. That's
just the more it ate, and the bigger it got, and the harder it was to stop. It was almost an immovable force. So this has been incredible, and
that's how Mike Benz describes it as a blob. Because again, you talk about an organization like USAID, and then when you start peeling it apart, you're starting to see who comes to their aid. It's Chuck Schumer.
Oh yeah,
it's AOC. It's Eugene Vindman? Don't you mean Alexander Vindman? No, Eugene Vindman. The other Vindman, his twin brother, the guy who was behind the Ukraine phone call hoax. That whistleblower, he has a brother who's now a House representative somehow. Somehow they were able to scam him in.
And let me guess, their cousins own lobby groups and
right,
and run NGOs.
They're all connected. It's amazing. The Elizabeth Warrens of the world.
Yeah,
all joining. Oh, also, did I mention AOC? Yes, I did. We got clips from Elizabeth. We got Chuck. We got everybody. You're gonna love these people. You could tell they're acting, and there's a couple clips that it really stands out, that you could tell that they're actors, dirtbags, losers. They need to go. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do some more sports. We'll do some more news. Stay there.
Let's go.
Something was screwy. Paul lost the tie.
In 2.0's all right. All right. All right, let me go to the chat here. What these guys are eyeballs. Let's see.
It did?
Here it is.
You got it.
No, Delgado's got some Flex Seal.
Crazy. We don't even have tape.
All right, let's
Actually, we
go.
might have tape.
Go to the chat here. I'm in the YouTube chat.
Put like chat tape on this like spaz.
Wasted Aliens, great show tonight. What else we got in here? Haley H says socks time. No, not socks, Haley. You look at Delgado's trying to help him out, get his eyeballs in here. Go. Jesus Sabelboro. Greg Blacker says it is chaos without Damon. Chaos, I tell you. We need Damon to get in here and read to them in the break.
It's story time with Damon.
Story.
Ranting and raving.
Ranted and Damon.
Yep. Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. We only have 30 seconds left. Oh, Paul, you look normal again.
Thank you.
Look at that. I can't even tell it's taped.
Let's see what we got.
Patty Jamcat wants to see his socks in the YouTube, Delgado.
You want to see my socks in the
Sock it to me.
YouTubes?
Oh, this is better. I can read.
In the
There you go.
YouTubes.
Look at that.
I'll show you some socks.
Nice.
All right, Slick, we'll come to you first.
Yep.
Paul, is there anything?
Looks like we're droning on.
I wish I had Damon's big old hat here. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Welcome to the program. Damon is off tonight. He'll be back tomorrow. Vin is out sick as well. So Paul was kind enough to make it 2 days in a row, even though he's going away tomorrow. He said, you know what? I'm stepping up for you fellas. And he came running in, and we're glad to have him. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Yeah, man, good to be back. I'm just glad this is a great night for it, and there's really so much news to go over.
Yeah.
Damon's in the chat, and he's a control freak, and he's upset that he can't control the content tonight.
Oh, good. All right.
Okay.
All
So
right. Let's get some clips of the moon landing.
Right. I got some flat Earth stuff we could run with.
Flat
and
Earth.
that alien baby discussion I was meaning to have. I think we can do that next hour.
I got a box of Reynolds wrap for our hats.
All right, let's do some sports with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. As always, you'll save a ton of money on some great stuff from Mike Lindell and the people at MyPillow.com. So make sure you do your duty and use our code at checkout LFS6B. Slick, what do you got, my friend?
Okay, let's go to the scoreboard. We didn't get a chance to get that in this first sports segment. So NCAA Men's Division I basketball right now. St. John's out in Queens leads Marquette 62-59. Good game there. 2 to go there in the second half. Also in the second half, 4 minutes left. Florida over Vandy 72-65. Iowa right now trails Purdue. The great state of of Iowa, trailing Purdue 85-77. 1 minute to go there in the second half. Ole Miss 87, Kentucky 73. A little bit of an upset. That'd be number 25 Ole Miss beating Kentucky number 14. 4 to go there in the second half as well. Enough time there for a comeback. Houston, number 5 Houston over Oklahoma State 39-33. That's also at the half. NHL, let's go to the ice right now. Bruins blanking the Wild 2-0, end of 2. Also end of 2, Sabres over the Blue Jackets 3-1. Senators and Lightning tied at 2, end of 2. Also end of 2, Devils 2-1 over the Penguins out in Pittsburgh. In Washington, Panthers and Capitals tied at 2, end of 2. That'd be the Florida Panthers, fresh off their visit with President Trump yesterday to get their celebration, give him his 45-47 NHL jersey. We ran that tape last night. That was good stuff. How about the Islanders in Bailey Score Arena around the island, up 1-0 over the Golden Knights. 10 to go there in the second period. No score, Oilers and Blues, end of 1. Also end of 1, Jets blanking the Hurricanes 1-0. And the Maple Leafs take on the Flames at 9 p.m. tonight, as does the Flyers and Utah Hockey Club. Big, busy night on the NHL. A lot of games going on. A lot of games. I got some other games too. Canadians and Sharks. 10:30 puck drop. Stars at Ducks. Also 10:30 puck drop. NBA action. Sixers over the Mavericks. 92-85, 43 seconds to go there in the third quarter down in Philly. And the Celtics 54-44 over the Cavs. That's at the half as well. There we go. We're going to talk more about the Super Bowl. And NFL removes racism from end zones for Super Bowl 59. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. You know, at the end of the end zone, right under the goalpost. Oh, yeah. It's been saying it. Yeah, well, the NFL will remove the slogan, "End racism," from the end zones at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana on Sunday, site of Super Bowl 59. Instead, the league will opt for the phrases, "Choose love," and "It takes all of us." Isn't that the truth? NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy announced the decision, saying the league made the call after the series of tragedies that have struck the country since the beginning of the year, such as the New Year's Day terror attack in New Orleans, the wildfires in Los Angeles, and the mid-air collision that killed 67 passengers and crew aboard an American Airlines plane and a military helicopter last week in Washington, D.C. We felt it was an appropriate statement for what the country has collectively endured, given recent tragedies, and can serve as an inspiration, McCarthy told The Athletic. The NFL began using the slogan "End Racism" after a violent and bloody summer in 2020 following the death of George Floyd, in which dozens of U.S. cities and towns became engulfed in anti-police riots and demonstrations. Oh, the good old days, right, Rick? The announcement is somewhat surprising, given that Commissioner Roger Goodell staunchly defended the league's diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) practices on Monday and vowed to continue them despite President Trump's effort to shut down DEI offices. And let me stop right there. That's why I've never had a great love for Roger Goodell. I have to say, he always just runs his own route, always pushes against the system. Here, President Trump's trying to bring everybody, and he's got to continue with this DEI stuff, pushing that narrative in the league. One of the things that damn near ruined that league with the kneeling and all the other, I go on and on. Actually, it did ruin the league, because you know how many more people would be watching football today if it wasn't for that nonsense? A lot of Patriots gave up watching
100%.
I mean,
fed up.
And yourself, you don't miss it as much now that you know what they stood for at the time. Thankfully, most of that is gone. But to hear Goodell say that today, anyway, I digress. That's a wrap in sports.
Sure, you're okay.
But you're dead on the money, Rick.
I've never been crazy about him.
I mean, he's a political weather van. Whichever he thinks and then he's obviously got that woke moral outrage, and I don't believe a word of it. I think he only cares about keeping certain people happy, and he keeps his $20 million or $30 million a year job.
That's what it's all about.
He can kill us.
I believe it is. Yep. I was so sad to hear that they renewed his contract too, which is that's a wrap in sports, Rick. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Slick. And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com and use our code LFS6B at checkout. I know we played this clip yesterday of New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy. Because the ICE is out there, picking up all the illegals, starting with the most dangerous first. And of course, if you happen to be hanging out with an illegal and you're an illegal, guess what? You're going to get scooped up as well. Well, Governor of New Jersey, billionaire Phil Murphy, decided, he's going to poke the bear in the eye. And that bear is named Tom Holman.
Let's see how this goes.
So here's cut 18. If you didn't see it yesterday, here's a reminder of the idiot known as Governor Phil Murphy from New Jersey talking about the illegal he's decided he's going to hold up in his house. Check this out, cut 18.
Talking about I don't want to get into too much detail, but there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what? Let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
Whoa. Yeah. So there he throws the gauntlet down.
What a putz.
Pokes the bear in the eye. Also kind of outs her because he mentions it to her. So we know it's you know when ICE is going in there, they're not looking for a male, they're looking for a female.
What a buffoon.
Well, here's Tom Holman. He responded to the idiot known as New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy. This is cut number 8. Hear what Tom Holman has to say about this.
I think the governor's pretty foolish saying what he said, because I got note of it. Won't let it go. We'll look into it. And if he's knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien, that's a violation of Title 8 United States Code 1324. I would seek prosecution, or the Secretary would seek prosecution. So maybe he's bluffing. If he's not, we'll deal with that. And as far as suing sanctuary cities, well, get in line, because the Trump administration is going to do that already. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. There's one example, right? If the young sanctuary cities in New York City, if they would have gave us over the killer of Laken Riley when he got arrested in New York City for endangering a child, he would have been in jail, and he would have never killed Laken Riley. Sanctuary cities are responsible for deaths of thousands. Thousands of young children throughout my career, and we're going to sue them. We're going to hold them. And look, if he's got to go to the Supreme Court, that's what President Trump wanted to do. He will end sanctuary cities.
Well, there you have it.
Boy, he's terrific. He's rough around the edges, but boy, is he terrific.
But that's the way you want.
That's exactly right.
Exactly. You don't want somebody who's too busy thinking about his next sushi meal. You want somebody like Tom Holman, who's gonna eat raw meat and just keep on going forward.
Right. You want a bazooka wielding animal as opposed to some guy with a pea shooter, and that's what we've seen forever here.
Yeah. So there you have it. New Jersey idiot Governor Phil Murphy poking the bear, known as Tom Holman. The bear now has your scent. All right, fast first hour. Appreciate you guys joining us. We'll jump into the chats. Make sure you jump in there, like and share the show. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, top of the hour, we'll do some more with USAID and Paul. And, of course, more sports with Slick Rick. We also got a guest at 9:30 coming up. Nice. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there.
He's an animal, that guy, too.
That's another great thing today.
There's another great story. The president of El Salvador, Bukele, is offering to accept all criminal deportees from the U.S., regardless of their nation or of origin. In addition, offering prison space for Americans behind bars. The offer follows Secretary of State Marco Rubio meeting Monday with Bukele, whose country is part of the Northern Triangle of Central America, which many migrants have crossed the U.S.-Mexican border. He said, we have offered the United States the opportunity to outsource part of its prison system. We are willing to take only convicted criminals, including convicted U.S. citizens, into our mega prison in exchange for a fee. The fee would be relatively low for the U.S., but significant for us, making our entire prison system sustainable. This is a really interesting. Let's be honest. I mean, he's another populist who's done everything you're supposed to do as a leader, including busted up all of the gang members, all the cartel members who made it into their Congress. He backed their money with Bitcoin, and now the economy's flourishing. The housing price has doubled in the last 3 years there, and it takes a special detached liberal to find this guy, to think this guy's a lunatic. So it's just more good news that guys like Milei, who I wasn't sure if I could trust early on, now Bukele, and we're going to see it around the world when there aren't places with corrupt elected officials like, Venezuela.
In the YouTube chat, we got Les Durham gave $5.
Back. All right, live from Studio 6B.
Okay, Les
Real
Durham.
America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Welcome to the program. Things are a little wacky. This is live TV. This is what happens. Slick Rick is here. He's got sports. Paul Nolan is here, joining us on a second night in a row. We truly appreciate it. He'll be jumping in with some news as well. We've got a guest at the bottom of the hour. We'll announce that in just a little bit as well. But Slick, you had something. We had some, a super chat?
Yes, super chat in the YouTube chat there. Rick Delgado, I give you $5 if you wear Damon cowboy hat. I think Damon took the hat with him, though, right?
I think he took the hat with him.
He did.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh, man, we don't have
Yeah, I'm going to get myself a cowboy hat. I got rave reviews from the missus who saw it.
Look good in it.
From the missus?
Yeah, she saw the cowboy hat. She said, that's pretty badass.
Yeah,
And I
well,
said,
you know what? Valentine's Day come up. She could get you one.
Boy, I got a cowboy hat right here for you.
Nobody wants to wear that one.
I would sooner
I don't blame him.
I'll pull my
Yeah, the
teeth
helmet.
out with pliers than wear a Dallas cowboy hat.
Hey, you know what? We were talking in the chat about some of the other news, because there's so much news. There's the Gaza Strip news we still haven't gotten to. There's the and then Paul reminded me of this El Salvador news. Now tell everybody what you just started reading it before we got thrown back on the air. But tell everybody what's going on with El Salvador. They've made an offer, right?
So President Bukele, who has done a great job getting rid of all the criminals out of the Congress there, the cartel members had been in power for so long. They had really rose to such power that they owned their Congress, they owned the presidency. But he came in and made it one of the safest places in the world per capita. And not just that, he backed the money. He got rid of the BS banking system, the fiat money system, and he brought Bitcoin as to back the currency itself. The house prices are booming there, but what he also did was he had met with Marco Rubio, and he said that he is willing to accept all criminal deportees from the U.S., regardless of their nation of origin, in addition to offering prison space for Americans behind bars. He said, we have offered the United States of America the opportunity to outsource part of its prison system. We are willing to take in only convicted criminals, including convicted U.S. citizens, into our mega prison in exchange for a fee. The fee would be relatively low for the U.S., but significant for us, making our entire prison system sustainable. It's a win-win. It takes a burden off the taxpayers because it's going to be, I guess, a discounted rate,
right,
probably half price, and it makes the beautiful new prison system that they created for all of the criminals and gang members who are running El Salvador, and it's kind of a win-win. But this is another example of alt-right, as the left would say, populist, who has done a great job, like Milei has, and others around the world, are starting to emerge. Because let's be honest, the whole world is tired of it. We're going to see our neighbors to the north making a big change soon too. Mm-hmm. Let's hope the saber rattling of Trump's tariffs that cools off when he backs off those after he gets exactly what he wants along the border,
right,
which he has.
It's amazing we survived that trade war from yesterday.
How we endured
trade war was crazy. I don't know how we made it.
How we endured, yeah.
As a nation, congratulations, you made it through the trade war of
right. You made it through 9/11. You made it through COVID-19.
Right.
And you made it through the 14-minute trade war.
The trade war between, it lasted, I guess, a few hours.
4
hours. It was crazy. I didn't think we were going to do it, but that shows how
I never gave up hope. I really never gave up
strong we
hope.
are as a
I just
country,
stayed so strong emotionally through all of it.
It's big. It's huge. I want a T-shirt now that says I made it. I survived the trade war of February 3rd, 2025.
The North American trade war of 25. Oof. 4 hours long.
Canadian flag on the back.
You know what's interesting though about that El Salvador offer, and sometimes when you hear this stuff, you kind of think, oh, okay, so they're taking illegals. They don't care what country. Not only that, as Paul read, U.S. citizen criminals. That's what they're offering.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people aren't understanding. It's like, well, immigrants from around the world, not only illegals that we want to get rid of, they'll also take U.S. citizens. How insane is that? Can you do that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just don't know.
Well, wouldn't it be great if one of these psychopathic killers that everybody wants off the street, they finally get sent to a prison, and even if they escape, you're still safe? Because somebody in El Salvador is going to have to deal with that crap?
Well, no one's escaping that prison.
Right.
If you look it up, it's CECOT. It looks like state of the art. So you might want to Google that. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And then, and again, you talk about the Trump train and all the great news that continues to come out, and the Democrats are just getting stomped every place they look as U.S. begins flying migrants to Guantanamo Bay. Being another win, getting these people out of the country, basically making use of the military base down there. President Donald Trump has instructed the Pentagon to prepare the facility to hold 30,000 criminal illegal aliens at the U.S. base. And from what I understand, those flights have started today. It says here, Caroline Leavitt, who I got a great video of, we'll play in a little bit. She says, I can confirm that today the first flights from the United States to Guantanamo Bay with illegal migrants are underway. And so President Trump, Pete Hegseth, and Kristi Noem are already delivering on this promise to utilize the capacity at Gitmo for illegal criminals who have broken our nation's immigration laws and then have further committed heinous crimes against the lawful American citizens here at home. So great use of that area and getting them out, kind of as a way station. Get them out of this country, get everything processed, and then from Guantanamo, ship them to where they need to be.
It's
which is a great idea.
It's just another great idea, and now there's going to be plenty of room for more of our criminals. When you look at what's going on at USAID, there is going to be so much fraud. Like we said, that all the money that went to these silly programs were all just designed to be a kickback back to the DNC and to other BS organizations. It's truly astounding what these people have gotten away with for so long. And as we mentioned last night, Mike Benz is an absolute must-follow on the subject. Yep. Him and Glenn Greenwald had a great conversation today. I know I didn't see the full one on Rumble, but I saw two good clips. One of them was 20 minutes on YouTube. It was just such a powerful indictment of how many scams they really did have going at the same time. Yeah. Endless amounts of them.
Yeah, and when you talk about USAID, here's some of those clips they were talking about as the Democrats are protesting the closure of USAID. And, of course, all the usual suspects, scumbags, whatever you want to call them, they decided to show up. Take a look at this one is cut number 16. And when I say Elizabeth Warren performs her protest here, watch what she does. And it's kind of obvious because she'll go to speak and then she'll stop. Cut 16. Here it is. Check this out.
Elon Musk.
Ooh. Oh. It's a shrill. Oh.
Elon Musk wants everyone in America to be at the mercy of Elon Musk.
Whoa, that's crazy.
See what
we are here to fight back.
Look at the wacko. Look at those weird heads.
Look at Mad Max over there. You see Mad Max?
We need to go back to that clip and pause it. It looked like the Muppet Show.
It did look like Aaron, can you pull that clip back up? Because yeah, look at everybody in that
sesame secretions.
Oh my goodness! Like Maxine Waters. It looks like a Mardi Gras stuck on a stick.
Oh my God.
She looks terrible.
I mean, what about the other one near Warren's fist? She looks like the wife from Bob's Burgers.
She does look like.
And then just above her is that Steven Tyler from Aerosmith up there? I don't know. I can't tell. Yeah, right. He looks like an old lady too. Sometimes.
He looks like Joan Rivers' stunt double.
Aaron, if you let this play a little bit, you'll see her stop because that was her pause line. She was waiting for the reaction. That was written into her script. Watch, she looks down, checks.
Elon Musk wants everyone in America to be at the mercy of Elon Musk.
See, right there. She's on the wrong right. I was supposed to wait.
We are here to fight back.
Fight back. Oh my God! That really looks like the Muppet Show. Oh God!
So there you have
Crank Yankers. Does anyone remember Crank Yankers?
That was the CEI office.
Yes. Woo woo! Crank Yankers. Yes.
All right, Damon, Drag Blacker and Damon are going to be mad at us. Let's get serious.
So you've got Elizabeth Warren. Now here's Chuck Schumer, another fossil who they carted over to the microphone. He tries to get a chant going. And I don't know if even if you're a fan of Chuck Schumer, which nobody here probably is, even if you were a fan of Chuck Schumer, you'd be like, I don't think I'm doing this chant with you, Chuck. Check this out. Cut number 17, Chuck Schumer and his failed attempt at a chant.
I'm going to stand with you in this fight, and we will win. We will win. We will win. We will win.
Wait.
We will win.
Now he changes
We won't rest. We won't rest.
What?
We won't rest.
Huh?
We won't rest. Thank you, everybody.
I mean, talk about Muppets. I mean, he looks like the Count from Sesame Street.
And the one, and the two.
He stinks out loud, that guy. He's terrible. So there you have them. They're playing their parts, of course, defending the money laundering in the waste, because they know that once this stuff gets pried open,
nailed. You're all nailed. That's what rats from a sinking ship look like. They're nailed.
Yeah.
You're busted.
Especially when you go back to the clip we played of President Trump talking about the kickbacks. I think there might be some checks with Schumer and Warren written on them. I don't know. It could be. Maybe that's what they're afraid of.
Without a doubt.
We don't know.
Nailed.
Also, I have a couple clips here. And again, this is from them protesting. Here is that guy, Eugene Vindman. We'll only play a little bit. It's a long clip. But just to give you some background onto Eugene Vindman, his brother, right?
Yeah, you mentioned
Alexander Vindman. He was known as the whistleblower who supposedly heard someone talking about a phone call in Ukraine with President Trump and Vladimir Zelensky. His brother, who he looks exactly like, because I think they're pretty much twins, this guy somehow scammed himself into Congress, and now he's a representative, I believe, out of the state of Virginia. Here's cut number 5. Listen to a little bit of this, because he speaks out against the closure of USAID, because that's where his brother used to get his money from. Check this out, cut 5.
My name is Eugene Vindman. I spent 25 years in the Army defending this nation wearing the uniform. And each and every one of those days, we worked with our partners at USAID to keep this country strong and safe.
Hey.
If we want to zero out the budget,
it's Elon
1% of the budget of this country, $40 billion, we better look at double or tripling the military budget. Because without that soft power around the world, we are making ourselves weaker. We're making our adversaries and allies stronger. We step back and we create a vacuum. You know who steps in? It's Russia, it's China, it's our adversaries from around the world.
You could blow him up because he's basically useless.
The work that you
Thank you.
Yep, another rat nailed.
Yeah, exactly. All the usual suspects and some of the new ones. You know, you saw Elon Omar in there. You saw, of course, Chuck Schumer. I'm surprised Nancy didn't show up. I'm sure she's a big beneficiary of USAID.
Yeah, well, I think she's keeping a low profile to the best of her ability because she's like, queen witch of these scams.
Yeah. So there you have it. Some of the other clips of the people coming out to defend basically the fleecing of your American tax dollars to send them out so they can go. From what I understand, I think the CIA, with the help of all their NGOs and USAID and all the money that they've used over the years, I think we've toppled. I have to say we because it is we. It's the people. From our country.
We the people.
I think we've toppled 83 different countries.
Wow.
Yeah.
83 different
installed banks and governments. Yeah. I know we have to go soon, but do you have the clip of, I can't remember who it was, but you were mentioning it last night. I saw the clip you were talking about when, the woman said, can you have proof? Do you have any kind of proof of all the wasteful spending? He started pummeling through the list. Yeah. I can't remember who it was. I hope you have that clip.
I don't have it, unfortunately.
I'll find it on YouTube.
All right. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do some more sports and more news. We got some more Donald Trump for you as well. He wants to take over Gaza. Might not be a bad idea. They've been screwing it up for years.
Yeah.
They could use a new owner. All right.
We'll see. There's a couple of new hotels.
Yeah, exactly. We'll take a quick break and come back more. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay back.
see it anymore. Said he asked if Paul could tell Chuck Schumer, eat the sausage.
Who said that?
That was Sarcastic Prodigy in the
Super
YouTube
chat.
Great name, by the
Super
way.
chat from Sarcastic Prodigy.
And Child of the King 2025.
Again, man, she is so unbelievably
Chucky is right.
generous.
They won't rest. God knows what they did. That's
God
the
knows
truth.
what they did. Exactly right.
I don't think he can rest. He's like Nosferatu.
We won't rest. We
Good one.
won't rest. Sound like he said we won't rest. He's an aristocrat.
I'll tell you, I'd like to get into a discussion next week when I come back. I'd like to do a discussion on. I've spent a lot of time on the tariffs and what they mean in the short term, the long term, and the historical view at them. I've got some good data. I'd like to touch on that next week if we could.
Sure. Just bring it to the table, man.
What DeepSeek says about the Nuland role in the Ukraine war. There's some interesting. I hope she sees.
Victoria Nuland.
She is one of the all-time worst. The amount of money she's bilked out of the death and carnage in Ukraine is. We'll talk about. Okay, then.
All right, live from Studio 6B. Real, huh? Do we have the music? I need the country music, man. There it is. I don't feel like the blues. There's a ghost in the machine, but don't worry, because we're still here. Well, I don't know about you, but we've been paying attention to the news, and in the news from The Economist are forecasting maybe a depression, maybe not a recession, maybe depression by 2030. It's called the perfect storm as Social Security and Medicare hit a breaking point with the largest generation hitting retirement all at the same time. A smaller workforce means a smaller tax base. Pair that with our growing national debt and rising cost of living, and we've got a big problem. So what are you going to do about it? Well, to protect your family and your future, gold has always proven to be a safe haven in hard economic times, and Birch Gold makes it easy to diversify a portion of your savings into physical gold. Birch Gold will help you transition to an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket to get started. Protect your future today. Text America to 989898. Get your free info kit on gold and a copy of the Ultimate Guide for Gold in the Trump Era, which we are in the process of putting together part 2.0, with a forward, believe it or not, by Donald Trump himself, Donald Trump Jr., I should say. There is no obligation, only information. So reach out to Birch Gold. They've earned the trust of countless thousands of Americans looking to safeguard their savings, and you can count on them as well. Text America to 989898. That's America to 989898, and reach out to Birch Gold today. So there you have it. Also, just a little bit of programming note. 9:30 coming up. The CEO of Brickhouse Nutrition is going to be joining us at 9:30. He's one of the creators of Lean. They'll be joining us at 9:30. His name is Miles Grimard, so we'll talk to him in just about 15 minutes or so. In the meantime, let's do some sports with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use them for all the things you need around the house. For you, summer's coming. You're going to need new towels.
That's right.
You're going to need new slippers, maybe. Maybe your feet are still cold.
Travel pillow. You're
travel
traveling
pillow.
on the road.
Right.
Paul's getting on a plane tomorrow.
If you're going on a trip or you're going to spring break,
travel pillows.
Make sure you reach out. Use our code LFS6B at checkout for MyPillow.com. What do you got for us, Slick?
All right, well, Marcus Jordan, son of NBA legend Michael Jordan, arrested for DUI after police chase Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Yeah, Marcus Jordan, the son of NBA legend Michael Jordan, was arrested in Florida and booked into Orange County Jail for driving under the influence and resisting arrest. Jordan, 34, was arrested after he was allegedly out drinking at a Florida strip club before getting his car stuck on railroad tracks early Tuesday, authorities said via NBC News. I stood at the window and immediately detected the odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from the vehicle, an arresting officer wrote in the affidavit obtained by NBC News. The defendant kept saying he made a wrong turn and needed assistance getting his vehicle off the railroad tracks. I noticed the driver had slurred speech and he was confused where he was located. I noticed the driver had red bloodshot and glassy eyes. Jordan was booked on suspicion of DUI, drug possession, and resisting arrest.
Damn.
The affidavit states that officers found a blue Lamborghini stuck on the railroad tracks at 1:14 a.m. near Greenwood Drive and Mechanic Street. The same vehicle was reported to have fled from Seminole County officers. I understand it was one of those Lamborghini SUVs, a blue one. I like those Lamborghini SUVs. I don't know how great they are, but they look short. They sure look sharp. According to NBC, Jordan told officers,
see you were one of those.
I love that car. He told officers that he had been drinking. Does it come in purple? Is the question. I wish they would. They'd been drinking that night and was coming from a few venues in Winter Park and Castleberry. A plastic baggie with a white powdery substance inside, I'm sure it wasn't talcum powder, was also found in the right pocket of his pants, authorities said, noting that field tests later showed the substance was cocaine. Officials allege Marcus Jordan was not cooperative during the arrest, at one point extending his legs to keep them from closing the door to the squad car. He was also singing the entire way to the DUI center, and his speech was slurred, the affidavit states. TMZ Sports obtained an arrest video, which we don't have, but Jordan was released from custody Tuesday morning after spending several hours in jail. So, great Michael Jordan, but, everybody's got family and humans and young kids, and really ashamed.
How old is the lad?
Story.
Do you have that in the story?
34 years old.
34, the lad, yes. Grown up.
Yep. I mean, he's adult enough. To know better than
but
that.
Still, you don't. I would want to make that phone call.
No way.
No, a father who basically could give you everything, but obviously that isn't the answer to life. And Chiefs Andy Reid commits to another year of coaching ahead of Super Bowl rematch with the Eagles. I'll be back. Reid, 66, has been an NFL head coach for more than a quarter century. Chance Martin of Fox News reporting. Andy Reid has spent the last 26 years as an NFL coach. Next month, he'll celebrate his 67th birthday. Reid has built a Hall of Fame-worthy resume, but he will spend this week focusing on the present, not the future. He'll be on the sideline in New Orleans Sunday when the Chiefs, of course, take on his former team, the Eagles. Reid is a 3-time Super Bowl winning head coach, and he is the only head coach in NFL history who has recorded 100 wins with 2 different teams. He was the Philadelphia Eagles head coach from 99 to 2012 and has coached the Chiefs since the 2013 season. So, pretty good to hear that he's coming back. That's nice. Most coaches, they kind of play possum. They won't tell you what's going on. Mm-hmm. But Andy's committing to another year. Why not? It's good money, good job if you can get it. And you got one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history who will cement his legacy. He's already cemented it. But he'll Mount Rushmore it if he wins 3 Super Bowls in a row. Only NFL player ever to do it. And everybody could do it. Could be Patrick. Going to be a hell of a game. We'll have our odds makers Friday night too, for sure. Yeah. We'll be picking that game. And I'm sure a big deal have a number of other picks, so to speak, like how long is the going to be the national anthem, this and that. So it'll be fun. That's a wrap in sports. Back to you, Rick.
All right. Thank you, Slick. And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout to make sure you take advantage of the great deals that Mike is offering. And, of course, a great company to do some business with. Speaking of Andy Reid and the Chiefs there, Slick, is this going to be, if they do win, is this going to be 4 in 6 years for them?
This will be their...
It'll be 3 in a row.
3 in a row, and they missed one, and then, it will be 4 in 6 years.
4 in 6 years or 4 in 5 years?
It will be 4 in 6,
they beat the first was the one they beat the Niners, right?
Yep.
Where Garoppolo missed a wide open guy.
But there was a break. I think it's 4 and 6. Yeah, and you asked that question why?
I was just wondering because you're talking about legacy, and if this is number 4 already for Mahomes,
forget about it.
He's getting close to
Tom Brady. Brady's got 7, so
Brady's got 7, but still,
but he's got so much time ahead of him.
Exactly.
And Brady is the analyst for the game. He's on Fox. He's going to be the lead analyst. He's supposed to be preparing like crazy. So
crazy.
Well, he seemed to get better as the season went on. He was a little shaky as an announcer early on, but he got better. And
I'll be honest with you, I liked him right from the beginning. I think people were just highly critical of him. I thought he was fantastic. I really like him. I like his acumen, of course. I certainly like his career resume that he brings, and he's amazing.
He's a likable guy.
I didn't see why everybody was freaking out. Oh my God, he's terrible. It's like, what did you expect?
You expect him to be great right away?
But not only that, but it's another quarterback talking about a football game.
4 and 6.
What were you expecting? Something special that you've never heard before?
Yeah, like we expected the rebirth of John Summerall.
Right.
I mean, and what's his name?
John Madden. Pat Summerall. Right.
Yeah.
So what'd you find out there?
This will be the fourth in 6 years if they're able to pull it out. Yes, indeed. So, they Kansas City, they had to beat San Francisco, and then they lost to Tampa, and then of course the LA Rams beat Cincinnati, and then after that it was 3 in a row. Well, could be 3 in a row by Kansas City. Maybe a Freudian slip there. So yeah, before if they should win Sunday, it'll be 4 in the last 6 years. That's an amazing feat.
And one of the ones
3 in a row,
and the one they lost was to Brady.
That was right. That's correct. Great Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we've only got a little bit of time left. I wanted to play this by Caroline Levitt. Check this out. This is a great promo as she talks about the Trump administration and everything they've been doing. This is cut number 15. Cut 15. Check it out.
We are 2 weeks in, and President Trump is already delivering big wins for the American people. Let's go through the facts. On the border, President Trump declared a national emergency, deployed the military, ended catch and release, and reinstated Remain in Mexico. And already, illegal crossings are down 95%.
Wow.
We are resuming construction of the border wall, and Colombia's president is now offering his own plane for deportation of illegal Colombian immigrants. On the economy and energy, President Trump unleashed American energy, declared a national energy emergency, and killed Joe Biden's radical electric vehicle mandate. Wall Street is booming, AI investments skyrocketed to $500 billion, and there's $20 billion flowing into U.S. data centers across our country. President Trump is restoring law and order. He labeled the drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and he is deporting criminal illegal aliens, and he signed the Laken Riley Act into law. Draining the swamp, President Trump signed more than 45 executive orders. DEI has been purged from the government and our military, and lazy federal workers have been ordered back to the office.
That's amazing.
And when it comes to free speech and transparency, President Trump took 12 times more press questions than Joe Biden did in a week, reinstated 440 silenced journalists to the press room, and ended government censorship. Promises made, promises kept, and we're just getting started.
Yeah.
Boy, she's fantastic too, by the way.
Just amazing. So there's a list of some of the.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. God bless America.
Of the great news coming out of the administration. Some other great news.
Incredible, man.
Some other great news, Paul. 20,000 federal workers so far have taken up the Trump buyout.
That's the story I was going to go to if we had time
All
next.
Right.
But
we'll get to that next.
But we have no next. We have the guest.
Well, we have the guest, but we do have next.
Maybe we'll get the guest to go into my fat challenge. Help me out.
All right.
Guinea
So they try to lean on him.
Quick break. We'll be back live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there. Yes. Okay.
All
Something
right,
is freaky. And you're going to get the guest on. All right. Miles Grimard, right?
And now you like that product. Can I see the ingredients of that product?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to read.
Yeah, chromium.
Chromium.
Oh, because of course there's Caralluma fibrata stem extract. I can't live without that. Yeah, foreskin.
Does
that say foreskin? What does that mean? Okay, so just so you know, there's a lot of that's the green tea extract right here. Do you take 3 at a time or 3 times a day?
Take some more once.
Grimard, yeah.
So I talked to a friend about this. They said it kicks butt also.
It does.
I like the package.
It's actually really nice packaging too. I got to do something.
Yeah,
my blood type is like brown gravy now.
With a cranberry chaser.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Welcome back to the program without the intro.
It has.
But, you know, hey, we do what we do. And, of course, Aaron and Fran are making sure that we are staying on the air. We'll do some more sports with Slick Rick in just a little bit. We've also got more news and stuff with Paul Nolan. But let's get to our guest. His name is Myles Grimard. He's the CEO of Brick House Nutrition, the creators of Lean. Myles, welcome to the program this evening. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm doing great, and thanks for taking time to join us. Hey, tell everybody a little bit, real quick, about your company, what you guys do there, Brick House.
Yeah, Brick House Nutrition. Well, a little bit about it. I came from a background. I had started a distribution company. We sold everyone's products, and then I kind of saw a few lacking pieces in the market, and so I hired the best doctors in the industry and kind of put this team together to create products that they weren't Me Too products, like a lot of the things you see out there. There's, a bunch of pre-workouts, and it's who's got the prettier girl on Instagram or who's got the bigger guy on the muscle mag. So we wanted to create, if it's not like a Brick House product, as we call it,
right,
then we don't sell it. So they spend a lot of time, takes sometimes years to develop our products, and that's kind of Brick House's thing. If it's not the best, then we don't sell it.
All right, very good to hear. Now, in terms of the products you've got here, and it's funny because we had one of you guys on last week, and I was unaware that he was coming on. And when he said, "Oh, we're talking about Lean," I'm like, I reached into my bag. I'm like, "You mean this?" Because I already had it.
You were a customer before you even knew about us?
I was a customer before you guys came on the show, so it was a little surprising. But tell us a little bit about the benefits, because let's face it, when you're talking about dieting, and this is for people that want to lose some weight. There are specific things when it comes to dieting, when you're going back and forth, yo-yoing, I think it's called, that can really kind of wreak havoc on the body, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the yo-yo where you go into a diet and then you either lose the weight and then you go off the diet, you put it right back on. It does wreak havoc on the body. And so that's what the Lean is, a way to kind of get around it. It's a habit that you can get into, and you're not worried about taking injections every day and that type of thing. It's a healthy way to do a lot of the things that those injectables do, but with less harm to your body in the long run.
Right. And I got first introduced to your company through Dan Bongino, as a matter of fact, and started using the Field of Greens, which I love. But then when I saw this, and I'm like, you know what, because let's face it, nobody can really stick to a really strict diet all the time, every day of the year. And we have Pizza Friday here. So of course, we're always stuffing our face with pizza and bacon and garlic knots and you name it on a Friday. If you ever want to come by on a Friday, Myles, we have pizza.
That sounds great. I saw the Cowboys helmet over there. You guys can't be too far. We're in Dallas as well.
Oh, nice.
Well, he's the only Cowboy fan here. For good reason.
Oh, so he knows the pain. He knows the same pain I have.
Yes, exactly.
50 years, at least the last 30.
Now, how is this? How is this? What about those injections? Because you mentioned that seems to be all the rage, right?
Yeah, it's definitely all the rage. But there's still a lot of things to be learned about it. What the Lean does is try to mimic it in the healthiest way possible. So, I mean, there's certain types of carbs that when it hits your body, basically there's a fridge and freezer when it comes to eating sugars. You want to make sure that you're not putting things from your fridge and into your freezer. And what I mean by that is you want to burn the things in your fridge before you store it in the freezer, like you store it in the fat. And that's something that the Lean really helps with. And you mentioned Field of Greens a moment ago too, and there's Auburn's doing studies on it showing that it has a lot of the same effects. Auburn, we're excited about those studies coming out with the Field of Greens. It's going to basically show that the Field of Greens makes you younger as you take it, and so we're really excited about that as well. But it does some of those same effects that the Lean does too.
Yeah,
helps with weight loss.
And now, in terms of the for the weight loss though, because I've seen it on some of the promos that it's not for the casual dieter. It means somebody who needs to lose a specific amount of weight. I know Paul has talked about it because he was just joking about it. He's like, I can't wait to talk to this guy.
I said, send me.
Paul's going to lean in here.
Send me a supply. I'll go on my strict diet. I'll take your product, and I'm right now. I'm at max fat. My blood type is brown gravy, I just said.
With a cranberry chaser.
I'll try it for 30 straight days. I'll weigh in beforehand, and I'll only wear Damon's cowboy hat when I do it.
I can tell you guys spoke to Dr. Kim before this, right?
Yeah.
Is he the one that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did he turn you on to that 30-day challenge?
No.
Actually, no. It was Max Fat. That's his. It's his X handle, Max Fat.
Oh, really?
That was his idea. He's like, you know what? I'll do it because when you say not for the casual dieter, but what does that actually mean?
If you're just trying to lose, like you do want to turn it into like a habit, just like you mentioned earlier, the yo-yo thing, where it's like you don't want to go on and off. A lot of things in nutrition, it will mess with your body over time. The lean is something where you want to get onto it, you want to stay on. If you're just trying to lose 5 pounds, you're gonna lose your 5. You're gonna stop taking the lean. You're gonna put it right back on. You're gonna put your body right back in that yo-yo situation where lean it's healthy to take for a long period of time, and you can lose the additional pounds that you're looking for. If you're just trying to lose 5 pounds, just watch the carbs you're taking and maybe hit the treadmill a few more times. But if you're trying to lose 20 pounds, the lean is really there to help with the cravings and the fat storage and everything like that.
Right. Yeah, and especially now that it's let's face it, summer's around the corner.
Yeah, my bikini contest is in 3 months.
The banana hammock needs to be.
Oh God!
You don't want to stretch that out. So, tell us real quick, what's the best way for people to reach out and get lean?
You can go to Get Lean or just brickhousenutrition.com. Has a bunch of the best products out there. But you go to takelean.com, and then you use promo code RAV, takelean.com, promo code RAV.
Okay.
I want to make sure that you guys get the credit, not someone else.
All right. Very good. Miles, thank you so much for joining us. And again, come back anytime because this is a great product. Like I said, I've used it. I've seen some great results. Paul seems to be excited.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Do you want him to do the 30? He'll do a 30-day for you.
Yeah.
Please do. We'd let him.
Yeah,
we'd love to set something up for that. That'd be fun.
I promise.
That'd be great.
Well, cool.
Beautiful.
Well, Miles, thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you do want to find out more about the great products at Brickhouse Nutrition, go to brickhousenutrition.com. That's brickhousenutrition.com. Use RAV at checkout to get your discount. And Miles Gramard, thank you again for taking some time and jumping on with us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it, man. Have a great night.
Talk to you soon. Thank you so much. You too.
Right. He's a cool kid.
Very cool.
And he's a kid. Yeah. Actually, he's 87 years old.
He looks fantastic.
He uses his Field of Greens.
Jack Lalani.
You know what that was? You could tell he's a sincere guy.
Right.
Yeah. You could just tell that he genuinely cares about his product and he cares about the ingredients of the product. Sometimes, you don't know about some of these things, but you could tell he was legit.
Yeah.
And you like the product, which is a big deal.
I liked the product even before they came on. Like I said, I kind of found the Field of Greens because for me, it was always, I like meat, I like potatoes, I like, all that. But it's tough getting the fruits and the vegetables also because sometimes I'm in a rush.
Oh, yeah.
And to be able to have like a Field of Greens to just throw it in a drink and suck it down and be like, I'm good for the day is pretty convenient.
Right.
So I didn't have any hesitation with trying the lean.
Well, that's what my gallon jug was. I kept my green powder. I kept my reds in there with my, like the reds with the beets and vegetables. And then, apple cider vinegar and electrolytes. That was what my 1 gallon jug was each day. And it really kept me from eating like a gavone. Like now, especially now with the new job, I've raced it. by the time I get to eat, where someone's running out for a hero or pizza or tacos and you break a long fast with horrible food. So, I do plan on, I'm going to trust your word. I know you take your nutrition serious, Delgado. So that's why he's got the guns and Navarone over there. So I'm going to give it a shot. So,
all right.
By the way, let's back to the news.
Yeah, back to the news. Let's jump to it. What do you got for us, Paul?
So you had mentioned beforehand more More than 20,000 federal employees who were offered the federal buyout option by the new Trump administration have taken the offer as of Tuesday. Trump's Office of Personnel Management sent an offer to millions of employees last week. That offer allows employees to retain benefits to be paid through September if they agree to opt out by February 6th. The offer was part of efforts to reduce the federal workforce and comes after he told executive branch departments and agencies to terminate remote work arrangements by next month. The administration predicts the reduction will save U.S. taxpayers up to $100 billion of bloated BS a year.
Which is great. I mean, people, that's not money to just go, oh, well, it's just, it's a little bit of this, or it doesn't make a big deal. All of this starts to add up after a while. And let's face it, do you have a couple billion laying around in your house? No, me either.
Yeah, I know.
So the fact that, the American people are demanding reform and change, this is one of those steps to get us there.
Yeah, let's say 5 to 10% will accept the offer, but some unions are encouraging employees to reject the offer because the Trump administration has not proven it would uphold its promise. And the union leaders and politicians are telling federal workers to reject this offer because they're doing them a serious disservice. So, I just like to see this. This has been pretty exciting. Just clear out the swamp, get rid of all the bloat.
Not only that, but because over the last few years, the only real jobs created for Americans have been in the federal government. They're the only job creators. They
stifled all manufacturing here. They taxed everyone to death. They regulated them to death. It's to the point of, it's to the point it makes it impossible to do business here. And China Joe sent all his business overseas and took all his kickbacks. It's an endless amount of criminal behavior from that previous administrations. And now here we are, hopefully bring manufacturing back. Let's hope the pressure of tariffs, as I said it when I came back, it's saber rattling. And he rattled that saber, and we see the capitulation instantly from Mexico and Canada. So we'll see.
And not only that, but Colombia. Remember
Colombia
last week with Colombia?
Yeah, now he's going to bring his personal plane.
Yeah, exactly. Now the president is sending his private plane to pick up criminals. Yeah. Just to make sure that, hey, I don't want to piss off the boss.
Yeah, Colombia, it's going to cost you mucho dinero if you don't take your criminales.
Right, exactly. So. Speaking of Trump, let's play this clip here talking about the China tariffs, cut number 11. This is him talking about that stuff today. And again, you mentioned the tariffs. There's the long game and the short game with tariffs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right? 100%.
And everybody's like, oh, well, look, we're going to have to pay more for cerveza and avocados. You know what? They grow avocados in California and New Mexico. Oh, you don't need them from Mexico. So Chuck Schumer, save your drama. But also because of the long game, like we're talking about, if you can get these people to capitulate, that makes it fairer in terms of trade. That means now they're not tariffing our goods, which means we can create more and send more over and create a fairer trade along, which is basically the way things used to be way back before the Western Central Banks got involved.
Without a doubt. And then if you get things like the repurposing and the reconditioning of our soil, and now we get Monsanto and its disgusting behavior, and it's Roundup and it's Roundup Ready Foods and all the ugly things that come with that corporatization of the food supply. One thing. One hand washes the other, so to speak, and then you deregulate and you make it easier. You take away the ESG, environmental social governance, and now you give more incentives to get businesses back here and tax credits. And, before you know it, we're putting America back to work. Unemployment goes down. IRS no longer is charging people 45% of every dollar they have, which when you really break it down, you work 12 months out of the year and you're only getting paid 6 months. The other half of the year, you're working for your slave master. So the whole thing in the short term could look scary. In the long term could be scary, but over a certain period of time, once things kind of level their way out and manufacturing comes back, and if maybe they ease up on the tariffs once manufacturing is thriving in America again, I don't see it as a big long-term problem. I think he's got a full handle on how to operate this system.
Yeah, and exactly, he knows who to squeeze and where to squeeze them.
Well, I mean,
to get the result.
Right? China's got 19%. Well, we'll get to it on the other side. I have the statistics on it if you want.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do some more of that on the other side. In the meantime, we got one more segment coming up on a Tuesday night. Man, oh man, we got one more sports report with Slick Rick. We'll do that. We'll also talk about the Gaza. I promise. I got the Gaza right here. We'll talk Gaza. We'll finish up on tariffs. And we just need you guys to stay there. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Stay there. We'll be back.
Wife, I'd leave here at 9:30, so I could finish packing.
All right, I'll call you a different name so she doesn't know it's you.
That's funny. I really should cut out of here now. My son was waiting up.
Breaking news: CIA offers buyouts to entire workforce.
Is that from Babylon
Bay?
Bay?
Came up. Yeah, it was on Fox News. Yeah,
you could take off.
It's truly astounding how
CIA
crazy.
offers buyouts. Wow.
You know what? I think I'm going to say goodnight to the audience because I did make promises at home.
Yeah, we'll finish it up.
Skate out. Just say goodbye to the audience and skate out.
Yeah.
You guys cool?
Yeah, we're full.
All right. You guys are awesome.
We can handle it.
Good luck
Thank
in the
you,
Super
Paul.
Bowl.
You got us this far, Paul.
Who are you taking, Paul?
I took a teaser bet, and I did. Get out of this.
You took Motown Philly?
I took Philly and the over.
You want the glasses?
Yeah. You guys are really awesome. I love you.
Take care. Safe trip.
All right, Paulie, have a safe trip. Thanks for coming out, Paul. The audience appreciates it.
We appreciate you.
No way. Stop teasing us now.
30
1 second if we're on the air.
30 seconds. All right. So Big D's gifting subs. John Q. Public, please, an executive order for national constitutional carry acknowledging the Second Amendment and the supremacy clause from President Trump. Thank you, sir. No more licenses or permits. Okay. John Q. Public. And thank you very much for that.
So where'd you see that? Oh, there it is.
Yes.
There's the headline. Holy moly.
Yeah, I would jump right on that first thing. Out of the break. That just broke about 10 minutes. Not even minutes ago.
Damn.
Yep. Take as much time and I can fill in on sports at any time. Wow. I mean, it's like every hour. It's like
crazy. Crazy. Holy moly.
I mean, 2 weeks, like I said, you see more action. Here you go. Here we are. Come on, Rick. Let's go. Here we are live, Studio 6B. Last segment. Mr. Delgado is in his seat. Here we go.
I dropped something. Sorry. Yep. Live from Studio. See, yeah, what Slick just said.
Exactly.
Last segment, you know what it is? we were in the break. The breaks have been breaking earlier than they're supposed to on us. Somehow, Aaron and Fran have kept us kind
on
of
track. They've kept us on track.
Yeah, they kept us on
Amazing.
track. Kept us, kind of making it like we're making it. And then we actually had a regular break, and I didn't know what to do with myself, and I decided to drop everything.
Big news, though.
Big news, though. And that's another thing. Breaking news. This has been constant since now 15 days ago. Right? Yep. Constant. Something is always happening. It doesn't seem to matter the time of day. It doesn't seem to matter the day. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend, a weekday, if it's in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon. Hey, you're sitting on the toilet waiting to go to lunch. Something is usually happening, and it just happened now. From the top of Citizens Free Press, this headline burst across the front, highlighted in red. President Trump offers buyout to the entire, wait for it, CIA workforce. Yes, you heard that correctly. I know how to read English. This is what's written in front of me. I clicked on the link and it took me to a Fox News report stating the same thing. The Fox News alert: the CIA has been reportedly offered a buyout to its entire workforce. So everybody that works for the CIA could be getting a buyout that we were just talking about, that President Trump offered the other federal workers in the government. And this is, again, one of those seismic shifting things.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even go about deciding, you know what, we're going to offer to buy you guys out? We want all the spooks, all the spies out of here?
It's crazy.
Is this... Yeah, and the first thing that jumps to my mind is USAID, right? Because the CIA has been running USAID, and I'm thinking maybe it's so corrupted, it's so far past the point that you could ever help to salvage it. They're like, you know what? Maybe we should just kind of clean it all. Right.
Clean house.
Clean house, like Slick just said.
Yep.
Clear it all out. Start from scratch. Build something new, build something better, build something that's not as corrupt, and hope that does what it needs to do. But man, seismic.
Big one. It's a blockbuster.
Huge. I don't even know, like, how do you even respond to that? If you're a CIA agent, like, how do you respond? Like, wait, huh?
Yeah.
like first off, if you're undercover and you take the buyout, you're pretty much not undercover anymore because you just gave yourself up. That's number one. But, like, how do you even approach offering that to the entire CIA? I would think you might need some people left behind.
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to take any prisoners.
I guess not.
You know, I mean, that's just it. Now, start over with a clean slate.
Completely clean slate.
Sounds like something President Trump would do.
Yeah,
you know, it really does.
I mean,
I'm not surprised here. I'm not. I mean, it's shocking to get this news right now in the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes. But I'm not. You know, listen, it's time to turn everything upside down. This is what's happening now with this with the administration, and you know what? It needed to be done. Yeah, in my opinion. You know?
And then this, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, but now here's more of a clearer headline from the AP on this. The Trump administration places USAID direct hire staffers around the world, around the world, over 10,000 people on leave.
Wow.
And except those deemed essential, those can remain, and orders the others to return home. So no matter where they're deployed in the rest of the world, they are now under orders to return to the United States. I guess to pack their stuff and go home. We're not going to be needing your services anymore.
Yeah, they'll get this severance or whatever.
Talk about a spick and span type cleaning. This is exactly what's happening.
You say 10,000?
I believe 10,000 for the USAID.
I thought I saw 13,000.
It could be 13.
Somewhere
I don't have it in front of me right now.
Right.
And then, okay, you want to go one more real quick before we do one more sports report?
This is more important by far.
President Trump, level it. Trump says U.S. will take over Gaza Strip, rebuild it to stabilize the Middle East. You heard that correct. I heard him say this afternoon as he met with Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, at the White House. Earlier this evening at a press conference, the president said the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous, unexplored bombs and other weapons on the site. We're going to level the site, get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited number of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job. Do something different. We just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it was for the last 100 years. So I don't know what the reaction is in Israel. I can imagine the Hamas is a little freaked out. But hey, maybe you should have rethought your
strategy.
October 7th strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
A little too aggressive.
With that said, we got time for one more sports report. Slick, are you going to tell us that Trump is buying the Dallas Cowboys next?
Nothing would surprise me at this point, and that would certainly be a blessing because I know he'd turn them upside down and fire the current general management, and we'd have the team winning again. Yes. That I do believe.
Slick
Let's
Rick,
get to the scoreboard real quick.
Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com, use our code LFS6B at checkout. What do you got?
All right, let's go to the scoreboard real quick. Couple of finals in NCAA men's basketball. We're getting ready soon. It'll be March Madness before you know it. We're only weeks away. Can't believe it. St. John's with a big win tonight over Marquette. 70-64. That'd be number 12. St. John's moving up the ladder. We got number 6 Florida over Vandy, 86-75, and Purdue over Iowa, 90-81. NHL Devils and Penguins tied at 2. End of the shootout. And then we got the Golden Knights right now trailing the Islanders 2-1, 7 to go there in the third. Oilers blanking the Blues 1-0, 18 to go there in the third. The Jets over the Hurricanes 2-0, end of 2. And we got to get to really quick. We get the NBA action. Cavs right now trailing the Celtics 109-100, and the Dallas Mavericks fell to the Philadelphia 76ers 118-116. Joel Embiid back on the court tonight with 29 points. Hopefully the Sixers can get back to their winning ways. And one time for a quick story. Dana White reveals Trump's resolute response after the UFC boss urged him to quit following assassination attempt. Dylan Quinn and Breitbart, I'll go real quick. UFC President Dana White shared with President Donald Trump's defiant response after the UFC chief begged the then candidate to quit politics following the attempt in his life in Butler, Pennsylvania in July. So I'll just really paraphrase real quick. He was on a flight, Dana White. He had heard that President Trump was shot. When he got off the plane, he called friends and family. He ended up calling President Trump as soon as he got to the airport in Italy. The president was already home from the hospital and didn't want to hear anything about quitting. Told him all about fighting, and I'm paraphrasing here. But great story. If I had more time, I'd run it. But I know we got to get to the end of the show, Rick. So that's a wrap.
Wow, that's crazy.
Crazy.
And it's funny too because he probably picked up the call. That's what I hear.
Did. Yeah, he spoke to him. It's amazing.
The crazy part is Trump is known for picking up his own calls. Like he doesn't have somebody pick him up. He grabs his own phone and says, "Oh, who's calling me?" And he'll jump right on.
Unbelievable. Non-stop, this man.
Yeah, amazing.
Very
Amazing
blessed.
show, actually, tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chats. I know it's tough for us to get in there sometimes when we're shorthanded like this.
We
missed a few YouTube. If you remind us tomorrow, we'll definitely make those, we'll get those shouts out to you.
Sorry.
Of course, because you deserve it. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, to everybody watching at home, and to Paul Nolan as well, who came in before he goes on his vacation. Thank you for watching. As always, we salute our military, active and retired, our first responders, EMTs, firefighters, police, the Border Patrol, ICE, you name it, everybody out there working to make our lives and this country that much better. We appreciate it. Everyone on the front lines, teachers, nurses, doctors, dentists, even dentists. They put their hand in it.
That's right.
We also thank Aaron and Fran keeping us on the air. And, of course, you guys at home, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Have a great night. We will see you tomorrow night. Damon will be back live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice.
Sound like the blues.